Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another episode, season 4, episode 35. On today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Barcelona's victory over Atletico Madrid in the weekend and what a victory it was. Another comeback for Barcelona, another domination against Atletico Madrid. Barcelona, in the 78th minute, losing 2-0, but managing to come back and score with 4 goals in the last 20 of the minutes of the match. We're going to be talking about that, as well as talking Barcelona's injury crisis, because right now Frankie de Jong has picked up a sort of a knock, and Íñigo Martínez and Marc Casadó, they are both out with injuries. We're going to be talking about those two players, and specifically how is Barcelona going to manage those injuries, and which players are going to be coming through and taking advantage of those minutes that Hans Flick is going to be giving them. And then as well, talking about Ferran and Lewandowski, talking about their performances overall. But Avado, good to see you. Good to see you yet again. And I want to ask first, how are you feeling? How are you? How are the sensations?
Yo, this would have been the game of the year if it wasn't for a Barca pull in Benfica. But this is the second best game of the year for Barca, bro. That was
The second best game. So
yo
you're putting this like above the El
no
Clasico, the 5-2
no.
victory?
The thing is that, bro, in terms of like drama, because that Clasico, I feel like Barca. No, I'm talking about like this season. I feel like Barca kind of like that Super Copa game. They kind of like took over right away. It wasn't really like we kind of felt it, the momentum shift towards Barca right away. That
Okay.
Benfica was back and forth. They were down 3-1 at one point. They came all the way back. And this game, they were down 2-0 with 20 minutes left. I don't see many teams that can do that against Atletico Madrid. Bro, Atleti fans are probably on suicide watch this week because
Yeah.
after what happened against Madrid and
Yeah.
now Barca, bro,
No.
team only deserves a vacation, dog.
No, I was actually on TikTok. I was scrolling and I saw a reaction from some Atletico fans, because like Marca, like the Spanish news outlet, they went up to Atletico fans leaving the stadium and says like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And they were like all like insulting, like saying this is the worst week ever.
Yeah,
Like we
bro.
were so happy, and then things went terribly wrong, and it's a really tough week for Atletico Madrid fans. But Alvaro, I want to know your thoughts on the game specifically. Like, what do you make of Barcelona performance against Atletico Madrid?
It was great. One negative I'll say, bro, that highline, you see what happens. That second
Hmm.
goal, that constant back and forth of keeping the highline, it can bite them in the ass. I'm hoping that there's not a team that fully exposes it. But aside from that, I mean, scoring the first goal 2 minutes after they went up 2-0, that's beautiful ball by the midfielder Íñigo Martínez.
Yeah,
That was a beautiful pass. I don't know how the fuck Lewandowski got to that ball and finished in the
yes.
bottom
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
That's probably his best goal of the year. Um,
It was absolutely spectacular. And
yeah,
speaking about Lewandowski, I found this stat, and Lewandowski right now he has equaled Ronaldinho's goal tally for Barcelona. He has scored 94 goals in 135 matches, compared to Ronaldinho scoring 94 in 207 across 5 seasons. So, Robert Lewandowski, even though like we clown him and we say, hey, he's sort of washed, he's a liability at times. He's putting up the numbers.
yeah. I mean, we're spoiled as Barca fans, saying that we need a new striker. I mean, right now Lewandowski is still playing at a really good level. Again, that's I would still want a new striker or winger in the summer. But I mean, what he's doing right now, he's what 35? How old is he? Is he 35?
No, he's a little bit older than that. I think Robert
36.
Lewandowski, he's 36.
Yeah,
Looking up Robert Lewandowski's like
and,
specific age.
and he's still playing. He's still playing at a really really high level. He's fighting for the Pichichi award.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
36, going to be turning 37 in August.
there you go. But yeah, man, that was an insane game. Yo, I was all for selling Ferran Torres, but bro, talk about a super sub. Like he is this year's Luke De Jong when we had Luke De Jong 2 3 years
Okay.
ago. I mean, bro, I'm not saying to raise his wages or whatever, but I'm sure Barca will have someone like that fits the playstyle at a pretty cheap price than having
Mm-hmm.
to go and sign another backup. So I mean, Gorgeous cross by Raphinha and an even better header by Ferran Torres. And he hit it with the back of his head. That last goal, the fourth goal, it was already kind of like overkill, but it doesn't matter. Nice finish.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those players that you may not see great performances when he starts, but when he's coming off the bench, he's explosive. He's extremely explosive. And
Speaking on Ferran Torres, because you brought that up, there's a stat that is comparing the efficiency of Ferran, and Ferran throughout all the competitions he has scored 13 goals in basically 1100 minutes, averaging a goal every 86 minutes. So coming off of the bench, every single time he's on there, he's either providing a goal or an assist. He has 7 goals in La Liga, 2 goals in 210 minutes in the UCL, and 4 goals in 184 minutes in the Copa del Rey. And I think right here, Ferran Torres is the ideal super sub, a player who knows his role in the team, knows that he's not going to be playing every single minute, and is adding output and in key moments as well to the team. You mentioned Luke De Jong, but I'm gonna throw you another one. He reminds me of, for example, Joselu from Real Madrid
right.
last season. He came to Real Madrid, not involved every single game. But what happened? He scored those key goals in the Champions League that allow Real Madrid to go through to the final and then eventually win it. And
And no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was gonna bring up just right now, Barcelona, they are looking to renew him as well, renew Ferran Torres' contract, and I don't know your opinions in regards to that. Are you open to a contract extension for Ferran?
I mean, look, first of all, there's not really a market out there for super subs. A super sub is just someone that plays the play style so well and that and knows how to play with it at the right time. You're not gonna find many more players that like Ferran Torres out there for a cheap price that are gonna do what he does. He's intense, and he reminds me in terms of intensity as like a Gavi in the
Okay,
attack.
okay.
And I mean, again, there's really no super sub out there that you can tell me that for a reasonable price he's going to be doing what Ferran Torres is doing. I will be willing to bring him back. I really don't see any Barca fans. Okay, if bringing him back means missing out on the top striker, which I don't see it being the case, then I will say no. But I don't see him requesting such high wages, and I would love that. I mean, Ansu Fati, who do you have right now as a sub up top? I
It's only
mean,
Ferran, but Ferran and Pau Victor.
you can't really you can't really consider Fermin Lopez a sub up top. He's a midfielder,
Yeah,
and Paul Victor is still extremely inexperienced. Ansu Fati is being left off the squad for every single week, so you really only have one,
yeah.
and he's done everything they could ask for.
So looking at your stance right here, you would be open to renewing Ferran Torres
Yeah,
for
I
Barcelona.
mean, and I think the love that he has for the club, I don't think he will be someone that would
Yeah.
like handicap him financially. So
Hmm.
I could see a pretty good deal happening.
No, no, because here's the thing, you know, in, as you mentioned, there isn't really a market for super subs as well. There are players who are really, really good, but what player would be wanting to come into Barcelona, have the same output as Ferran, but have the same exact minutes? Because you're gonna need a player to come in, understand his role, understand that he's not gonna be playing every single match, and obviously a player who is comfortable in La Liga, comfortable with the squad, and is able to adapt and everything. And so I'm very open to the idea of Barcelona renewing Ferran Torres' contract, because it's gonna be very hard to look for an alternative in the market,
Yeah,
and we're gonna be using whatever money that we can get to go, for example, a Nico Williams, a Luis Diaz, go for an actual winger. I think having a player like Ferran is absolutely fantastic, and he's not going to be on extremely high wages, and he's
yeah,
adding
he
output.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
precisely. You have players like Ansu Fati, who are earning tons of money
that's
and are
sad.
offering zero. They're having zero impact in Barcelona season so far.
Yo,
What's up, Vanley?
Bentley, you said that your second favorite team is Atletico because they're FC. I mean, bro,
Yes, I
I'm
was
getting
on
more than
half.
Madrid. I'll tell you that. But
Yeah, I was on Hafsal's podcast yesterday, and yes, I am Argentine. That's why it's not being showed, but I have a little jersey right there to the side. It's it's an Argentine jersey, but yeah, welcome. Good to see you, Van Lee.
yo,
I also said,
can we talk about if this game had been lost or we had tied that handball by De Paul, bro? I don't know who's in charge of the VAR. I don't know if it's Florentino Perez, there's no way you can tell me that that play was not reviewable to not allow a goal.
See, the thing was, I was having the same opinion about you, but the thing is that Barcelona, they recover the ball, like after that,
There
it's
was. Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it wasn't like leading up to the goal.
yeah, it's exact. It's basically it's like this. Um, Pedri passes the ball. It hits Rodrigo's hand. It falls to
Yeah,
the Atletico Madrid player.
then
They
they
clear
recover,
it.
they lose
They
it.
clear it. Barcelona
But
recover it, but they immediately lose it.
that shows you how gray the like it's not black and white. It's very gray, like because it literally depends on the crew. 'Cause I have seen plays like this be overturned before,
No.
so it's just like if we hadn't won, I would have been very salty. Even though I agree because I saw a replay and it took a while for them to score. But either way, I know that maybe some other league, maybe in the Premier or in Serie A, whatever, that could have been overturned to a handball. So whatever. But yo, that's the yellow card worthy of a handball. Like
No,
he
no.
literally opened up his hands on the ball.
It was so frustrating because like they literally
Yeah,
score right
that
after,
was
and but like after looking at the replay, Pau Garcia, he gets it, passes to Eric Garcia, immediately lose it, and then you have that counter from
yo, and
Atletico Madrid.
Soloslav is one of those players that he will not score against a mid team. He will only score against top clubs.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
impressive.
yeah. He's such a good option off of the bench. Such a good option off of the bench. But Van Lee, he says Ferran has the same GA as Luis Diaz, and he's fine coming off of the bench. You need happy campers in the squad,
For sure.
100%. He says people love to make fun of Ferran, but he's technically very sound. His finishes are very pretty. Remember the Dortmund goal and the goal last night.
And you know
Absolutely,
what?
that's the case.
To respond to a Van Lee comment about Ferran and Luis Diaz, and then saying happy campers, Gavi right now
Yeah.
has become that super sub purely for intensity. And
Hmm.
I'm hoping that eventually he regains his form and becomes a starter
Yeah.
again as he should, because we all agree that when he's at his best level, he's one of the best in up and coming midfielders in Europe.
Hmm.
But for example, he came in the other day, I mean, last game, at what, like 88th minute, something like that.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely dominating the midfield, the Atletico players that were tired from the entire game and from the Madrid game. He was pressing nonstop. And bro, he literally plays Haram ball. He plays, he literally dives for everything. It's scary because he's already been injured before. But I mean,
Hmm.
that's and he said it. Oh, like I don't care what I'm doing if I'm off the bench or I'm starting. I just want to help my club. Hopefully, we see him starting more now with a Casado injury,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Hmm. No, and that's a perfect segue because we are now going to be talking about the first injury being Marc Casadó, and then we're going to be talking about Íñigo Martínez. But both players, they are injured. Marc Casadó, he has an injury in his right knee. Both players, I think, they have an injuries on their knees. And Marc Casadó is going to be out for roughly 2 months, and that is basically the rest of the season because right now we're in the international break. Barcelona, the month of March is basically over for Barcelona, and he's going to be missing the month of April and the month of May, and so that's pretty much the season over. Barcelona, they're not closing the door on surgery for Marc Casadó, but at this point he doesn't need it. And in regards to that, first I'm going to go to Yusuke. I'm going to ask you, how big of an impact is Marc Casadó's injury going to affect the team? How big of a hole is that going to leave? And second, which player do you think is going to be benefiting from that injury?
I think he has been a very good player for us, at least in the first half of the season. When Frankie De Jong was injured, Gavi didn't came back from his ACL. He was the one that was, he was the muscle in our midfield. To be honest,
Yeah.
Pedri recovers the ball, but he doesn't have that much amount of tackles and physicality like
Yeah.
Casado. I know people like to criticize any player that is limited on the ball that plays for Barcelona, be it Raphinha, be it any player that is not good looking on the ball, but he has the qualities to play in the midfield, Casado. And if you think about it, he had some good moments, in Clasico, that assist for Lewandowski's goal, he has that final ball also in him. So I think he has been very important player. But I think if Frankie De Jong is fit, I think we can cope up with his injuries.
Hmm.
Also, I think Gavi will be the one that will be benefiting the most from this injury because I think he can play in that double pivot alongside Pedri. Because if you think about it, Gavi also has that same, defend first mentality, and I think he's still better than Casado on the ball
Yeah.
because we have seen him in previous seasons, especially in that Super Cup final against Real Madrid. He has played on left wing from midfield, left side in midfield, and he has good qualities on the ball, better than Casado. I think Gavi will be the one benefiting the most.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you know who I want to see more minutes of, or any minutes at all? Pablo Torre. I mean,
Paulo Torre.
it's it's sad because he was very hyped up when he came in. He wouldn't be playing a pivot. I feel like he's more of an advanced midfielder. But like
Yeah, that's
now,
the
like
problem.
but
That's the
now that
problem with
now
Fermi. Yeah,
now
Fermi.
now that Gavi might pick up those, because I know Frankie was dealing with some soreness or whatever, so they might be careful with Frankie as well. Now that Gavi might pick up those starting minutes, I hope to see Paulo they play a little bit at least.
Okay. Well, I think Paulo Torre. I think he will have minutes, but in that number 10, and even then, it's gonna be limited. But
Yeah, yeah.
I do share the opinion. It's like I do think that the like of course we don't want a player be injured. It's not beneficial to the squad. But one player who will be having more protagonism now, I think, is going to be Gavi,
For
because we
sure.
saw in the Osasuna game, for example. Hansi Flick, he did rest players. Obviously, we didn't play due to the passing of Dr. Mignado, but the base midfield was going to be, I believe it was going to be Gavi and Marc Casadó. It was going to be those two. And I just think that Gavi is going to replace Marc Casadó in that lineup. Obviously, we have to see how Hansi Flick uses him, because we've been seeing Gavi deployed in that number 10, and he hasn't been that impressive bar a couple games. For example, you're thinking back to his Super Cup performances in Saudi, but overall I do think that, for example, he could be that destroyer in the midfield, because that's basically Marcaso's position.
Mhm.
And I'm very happy that right
Yeah,
now Frank.
I think Yeah, I think only problem with Gavi and difference between Casado and Gavi is that Casado is I think Casado is the best midfielder that we have, which is good at reading the play. I think
Okay.
reading of the game, I think Casado is the best. Of course, Pedri is also best. I mean, Pedri is all-round midfielder. He can do everything that our midfielder does. But
Yeah.
the reading of the game from Casado, if you think about it, whenever attackers from the past team runs to score a goal against us, he is always there covering. Making
Hmm.
those important tackles. All these things, I think he is better at better than everyone.
And Elias, quick question regarding the Osasuna game. As I
Yeah.
was seeing reports that they might do it this weekend, but like Barca's gonna be missing a lot of players. So
In regards to that, the official confirmation is that Barcelona versus Osasuna, that's going to happen in the 27th of March. But here's the thing: Araujo and Raphinha, they're going to be with their respective
so it's
national teams.
confirmed.
Yeah, it's confirmed. They're going to be playing on the
Yo,
27th of March.
that is some really bad managing
No,
by
I
the
think
Liga.
I think Barcelona appealed it and Osasuna also appealed it that we cannot play this game because Osasuna also has a game against Atletico Bilbao on 28th. So
Yeah.
it's even tougher for them because we
I
have
mean,
two
uh,
players unavailable, but they have game back to back days. Think about it.
Yeah.
you
Atletico.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
you would think that they will probably do it at some point throughout a week that Barca's not playing the UCL, maybe towards the end of the season, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah, look at this.
But
This is absolutely ridiculous. Right here, the fixture list right here. So Osasuna, they're going to be playing against Barcelona on Thursday, the 27th, and then literally the next day they're going to be playing against Atleti Club.
yeah,
That
no,
can't happen. They're going to have to move the
that
game.
that won't
They're going to
happen.
have to.
No, I mean it's what I'm saying. They're probably gonna do it on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, like if it was like a Copa del Rey game or something like that. And I mean that's what makes sense
No,
in
no,
my
but the
head.
thing is, like, if they do it even before, our players are not going to be back. It's the
No,
international
no, no,
break.
no, bro. What I'm saying is maybe they do it like after like during a UCL break that they're not playing for a week or something. I don't know how the schedule works for the UCL like in the next rounds.
Well,
Maybe.
looking at the schedule from Barcelona, you know, hopefully, if things all go to plan, we will be going far into the competition, and so we're not going to be having those long breaks. You can see right here, Barcelona, they're basically playing every 3 to 4 days, all the way until what, May. You see right here, the only period would be in the week of of May the 18th. So until then,
yeah.
there's not really much space in the fixture list, you know?
Mm.
So it is going to be very difficult. And obviously, if Raphinha were to get a yellow card, you would be missing the Brazil versus the Argentina game, which would allow him to come back. But I genuinely think that game is going to be, rescheduled. I don't think that Osasuna they're going to be, in agreement with that.
I was so excited for the Brazil versus Argentina game, and Neymar is injured, and now Messi is injured.
Yeah. But yeah, Messi picked up an adductor injury, I believe. It's a very minor injury, keeping him off for a short amount of
Yeah,
time.
but they don't
That
have
sucks. Absolutely. But now moving on, I want to be talking about Íñigo Martínez now, because Íñigo Martínez has also picked up an injury. He's going to be out for roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Now, this is, there's a silver lining, meaning that he's not going to be out for too long, and it is the international break, and so that could be a positive. But if, let's say, Íñigo Martínez isn't able to recover in time for Barcelona's match coming back, which is going to be actually against Osasuna or against Girona, which center back do you think would be taking the position, and how would you see that back line looking like? I'll go to you first, Alvaro.
It's funny because throughout the season, Íñigo Martínez has been that glue. Whenever we start Culebrilla or Araujo, it will be alongside Íñigo. It will be either one. So now, I mean, it has to be Araujo and Culebrilla. You can. I understand Eric Garcia fits the style of play very well.
Mm-hmm.
You should not start Eric Garcia over Araujo and Culebrilla. So I think it's gonna be Culebrilla and Araujo. Eric Garcia as the third center back off the bench. And yeah, like you said, thankfully we have a week off that's gonna help Íñigo Martínez. Again, I know we're in a tight race with La Liga, the UCO's coming up, everything. Do not rush back his recovery. He's 30. He's already 34, 35.
Yeah, he's 33.
Don't 33.
Yeah.
Don't risk him getting injured long term by rushing him back an extra week. Let him recover as best as possible, because again, he has been one of the most impactful center backs in Europe.
Yeah,
in the world.
Yeah, he's been so key.
So
Key this season.
So, yeah.
Precisely. So Sake, you agree with Avil here? It's just simple, just putting in Araujo in that lineup for Íñigo if he is out.
Yeah. It has to be Araujo, because we don't really have that. Even though Íñigo is very good on the ball, but he is also physical. Clearing the headers, crosses, all these things. He is very good at physicality, if you think about it. So natural replacement is Araujo, but where do you think Araujo will play? Will he play as a left centre back or right centre back?
I think he's gonna be playing as a right center back. I think he's
yeah,
been the right center back.
I was gonna say right.
Because you do not want to be having Araujo, especially with his limited abilities on the ball, on
either
his
way-
weaker foot.
Either way, like last year, we had in the previous years when we played Culebrilla alongside Araujo, I'm pretty sure it's always been Culebrilla on the left. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And this could be an interesting question for Manley. He says, "Do you start Eric Garcia to help with the ball progression besides Pedri in front of Araujo Culebrilla?"
No way. Because then, tell me worst case, Araujo gets injured, then you gotta move Eric Garcia back, and then I think I really do think that the best case will be, yes, you have Casadó out in the midfield, but you still have Frankie, you still have Gavi.
Also, one thing about our centre backs, I am really surprised. That one thing about Kubarsi is that he is the youngest one of our centre backs. He is 17 years old, but he is the one who has been almost fit for entirety of the season. He is the one. He is the one constant in the back line. He has played with Eric Garcia, Íñigo Martínez, and now he will play with Araujo. He is the one performing constantly at least 7 out of 10 in every single match.
Yeah.
Even Lamine was injured for 2 months, and we struggled. Of course, I struggled, but he has been there. Kubarsi has been there for entirety of the season, and nobody talks about him.
Culebrilla has been our best defender. It's been that simple. Pau Culebrilla has been absolutely phenomenal this season. And in regards to this question right here, I think that the only way you see Eric Garcia starting is if Frankie de Jong can't play, because the midfield right now is going to be a midfield of Pedri and Frankie de Jong.
Bro,
if Frankie,
Gavi.
Yeah, most likely. But if Hansi Flick doesn't want to put Gavi in that role, then I'd see Eric Garcia coming in. But also, we have to keep in mind, Christensen could be another option because Christensen right here, he is coming back from injury, but at the same time, we don't know when. It could be a couple weeks. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
no.
I have no idea in regards to the
The
timeline
thing
for
is,
Christensen.
you at this point in the season, with how tight every race is, you can just start Christensen on the game and I hope that he performs. That will be one of those like 80th minute substitutions to get his feet wet. And again, if you start Eric Garcia and God forbid Eric Garcia gets a red or gets injured, who's your sub for center backs late in game if you need one? So
Yep.
that's why I really don't see Eric Garcia. He's playing well as a pivot,
Okay.
but I don't see him starting.
But NJ, I'm gonna go to you first, and bring up this conversation. But with Barcelona's victory over Atletico Madrid, there's a stat that says that Atletico Madrid in La Liga they have never blown a 2-0 lead or 2-goal advantage under Diego Simeone. And so it's been more than 17 years since 2007 when they've lost being up 2-0. This was against Villarreal, in which they were winning 2-0, but Villarreal came back and they won 3-4. I'm bringing up this stat because that stat. Do you think now Atletico Madrid are out of the title race, or do you think it's just it's a 3-horse race? Do you see Atletico Madrid still in it, or do you basically see them done?
For me, I can still see them, like still in the competition, but it's hard for them because obviously now we just beat them by 2 goals, so we have the advantage now in the leg. But I can see them still chasing, but it, it's up to us, just if we allow them to catch up or not. End of the day, But for me, yeah, it's gonna be hard for
Okay.
them.
Okay. Avdo, what do you think? Do you think Atletico Madrid are done in La Liga or no?
They're not because I don't think they have a type of run that Barca has left in them. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it. But it's what 4 points. It's 4 points, and Barca has a game in hand.
Yeah. So
I
it
understand.
could be 7. It could
It's
be
not
7 if Barcelona
it's
win.
not impossible. It's just that for a team like Atletico, that is not one of those teams that will go on those insane runs.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I'm not gonna count them out, but it's tough.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't picture Barca falling off the face of the earth again like they did in like November, December. I can't see them doing that again.
Okay. Absolutely. Saket, the thoughts on Atletico Madrid? Do you think that they are still title contenders and threats to Barcelona?
Yeah, I'm not saying they are title contender, but I think they are definitely in the race, still in the race because I think they have the easiest fixture out of the top three remaining, and I also think Barcelona will drop points because I think we still got we still have to play Villarreal, Rayo Vallecano in that congested fixture.
Yeah.
I think we have Athletic Bilbao, and we also have to play a Clasico also.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Barcelona will drop points, and I think if Atletico win their easy games, I think they will be still there at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Quick
And
comment. Looking at the
also
table,
they don't have a Champions League, and if they get out of the Copa del Rey also, then they will entirely focus
Yeah,
on
that's
this
also
league
that's true.
with all this
That's true.
squad depth.
yeah, that's also
Yo,
yeah.
quick comment about the table. Real Sociedad has had a horrible season, bro.
They have. They have.
For a
Last
team
season,
for a team that's used to competing in Europe in some form of competition, that is a tough look for them.
yeah. Let me go and actually see La Liga. I want to see the exact position that they finished last season. Last season they finished
They
in
were fourth,
6th.
or sixth, and they're
No. But they were in the
yeah, no,
Champions
no,
League
no,
spots,
no, no,
but they
because
went.
I forgot about Girona. That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eh,
No,
which
but
with who?
no. He's talking about Real Sociedad.
Ah,
How they were fighting for European spots, and now they're
mhm.
basically
I was
mid-table.
Yeah,
regarding Real Sociedad, I was reading one stat that they have been knocked out of the I think round of 16 or around that round in European competition like easily every single time.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. But just speaking about the title race in general, I think that Barcelona they are in a very good position with that lead over Atletico
oh yeah,
Madrid.
for sure.
I'm not ruling out Atletico Madrid simply because I do think that they have a very strong squad. Even though, for example, I still think that Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to, they've gotten the better of them. But I think that squad depth is going to be enough to basically keep them in the race. Just I think it's going to be very, very hard for them to win it. I think it's between Barcelona and Real Madrid in general, especially looking how there's no El Clasico coming up. Real Madrid, they have an opportunity to claw back some points, but they are looking leggy. Their schedule is looking very, very difficult. Of course, the Champions League matches, they are going to play a factor. But in general, I'm feeling very good. I think the way that Barcelona,
Also,
they won against it. Yeah.
also one thing, if any team gets injuries at this point of the season, like we are getting right now, Inigo, Frankie de Jong, Casado, if any teams get injuries, I think their season is almost over at this point of time because fixtures will be too congested and you have to rotate the squad. I think
Okay.
Atletico is the only team that has the squad depth. If even if they get injured. And
Okay.
Madrid has been showing entirety of the seasons even after all these injuries. It doesn't really matter for them. They paid playing a black line of midfielders and center back like Asensio, so they still get it. I think it will be hurtful for Barcelona only if we get injured, get injury for our players.
Okay. And this is where Hansi Flick, he's gonna have to be very smart about managing certain players' minutes because those players who are gonna be traveling to South America in Araujo and Raphinha, especially Raphinha, you want to be managing his minutes very, very carefully. Pedri as well, Dani Olmo, the players going to this with the Spanish national team, you want to be making sure that they are fresh, and obviously there are some players who are
Yo,
not going to be traveling.
sorry, quick question for
Yeah.
the ones with greater ball knowledge.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce the name of the young center back from Bournemouth? That's for Spain.
Poison.
Yo, he's gross,
Yeah,
bro.
he's called up.
Yeah.
That Spanish team is looking stacked.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
Like their weakest spot is right back, maybe striker with Morata, but they're looking
Striker always the
stacked,
weakest
dude.
though. The striker is the weakest.
Yeah,
Because the right
Samu
back,
has been also called up.
What happened?
Samu has been called up as a striker
Samu.
alongside Morata,
Samu has been
so
Yeah.
he
called up.
will also debut.
So I mean, yeah, right back is your weakest position. Yo, that
No,
team's
not really
looking
though. It's
dangerous.
the right
And
striker's position is the
think about
weakest, to
it.
be honest.
Think about it. Samu as a striker, Nico Williams on the left wing, and Lamin on the right
Yamal
wing.
on the right.
No, yeah.
That midfield, Rodri and Pedri playing alongside each other. You have Dani Olmo,
Yeah, Samu entirely looks
Ferran
like
Lopez.
black. I'm sorry, Spain Lukaku.
And right now,
Spain looks-
I only mentioned the Barca players that will play in the Spanish team in the midfield. Doesn't even counting all the other ones out in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
So
No. It's Spain. They're looking like to have a really good squad with these young talents
if I
popping
see
up.
a fucking FIFA ranking with France at number one again, I'm gonna lose my shit. 'Cause they're not better than Spain right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think Spain have shown,
Yeah. To
their
be
level against even France. In that performance, I
Also,
genuinely
I
think.
think, yeah, I still think Spain will be tested because I think they have games against Netherlands. Also, in this international window, there are many heavy hitters game. Uruguay, I think Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil,
Uh-huh.
Argentina,
No, the
Spain,
Argentina
Netherlands.
games, I'm gonna be tuning in for that because Argentina they're gonna be playing against both Uruguay and against Brazil, so those are gonna be some very interesting games I'm gonna be keeping an eye out. And in regards to Europe, are there any big games coming up in the international fixture or no?
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
Spain,
I haven't checked.
Netherlands is there.
Germany
Spain.
in Italy gonna face one another,
Yeah.
but that's basically
Okay.
it. The rest are just because of the Nations League, right? So those are
Yeah.
the two teams that are the big games to watch.
Okay. So there's a wait. There's a quarterfinal. Oh, they're in the Nations League's
Yeah,
quarterfinal.
it's stupid. You know why? Because last year it was only the
I
semis and finals. That's it. That was it.
I think
The last 3 years,
is that Nation League quarterfinals two-legged or one-legged? I
two
heard
leg.
somewhere
It's
that
two
it will
leg.
be.
It's two
Yeah,
leg.
man, that's also
Uh huh.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
thing
Because
is, because the thing is, right? So every year before they added the quarter, it was every March where they played the semis and final at the same time. But now they added the quarter. So now the semis and the final will be played in June every year.
yeah. So it's going to be Italy.
We have the Tottenham Hotspur spokesperson.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Alex? What's up, Alex? Right now, we're talking about the Nations League. So you're gonna have Netherlands versus Spain, Italy
fuck
versus
Nations League.
Germany.
Spain's winning it all. I'm letting you know right now.
Yeah,
Spain's
for
winning it
real.
all.
Yeah. Easily, bro.
You have Croatia versus France, and then Portugal versus Denmark.
World
Okay.
Cup World Cup final
Who you got,
rematch,
though, for that
Croatia
game?
versus France.
Yeah,
Yeah, Croatia
World Cup
France
final.
should be a good game.
Also,
Who you got,
another.
though? Who you got for the
Another
game, though? Croatia or France? Who do you think's gonna win that?
nah, I
Bro,
think
I mean,
France.
I
yeah,
think
Yeah.
I feel bad for Croatia did all they could with their golden generation, bro.
Yeah.
They're past it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Van
so
Lee
yeah.
asks, do you think Raphinha can press like this next season? Only reason I like Luis Diaz.
Oh yeah, 100%. He can.
Bro,
He
bro,
can. Oh yeah,
bro.
100%. He can.
We all joked about the Hansi Flick physique and fitness from Bayern Munich. Yes, our players are not bodybuilders, but their intensity on like throughout the entire game, from Pedri and Rafinha, most noticeably, is insane, bro. Like they will press like their life depends on it.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely do think that Rafinha has taken a next level or that next step under Hansi Flick. And in regards to Luis Diaz, I do see him as a very reasonable, profile of that of Rafinha. But then again, you mentioned the output that he gives you is not, that crazy of the output that even a Ferran gives you. And so, are you really willing to spend that much money on Luis Diaz? He asks, is France or Spain team stronger? I'm going with Spain here. I'm going with Spain
Yeah,
here.
bro.
Spain's better though, because they have
Bro, the
everything
thing is
except the
that
striker.
look. Usually, what in your all's opinion, what makes a team? Usually, the midfield, right?
I would say so. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say
Normally, yeah, the
that's the
midfield, yeah.
engine.
Bro, you have the former Ballon d'Or winner
Yeah.
and the top fourth, top fifth Ballon d'Or um, competitor right now. Those two playing together, the way Pedri's playing right now is a different level that we haven't seen Pedri play at.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
You and
100%. Yeah,
you have like six other options of top midfielders to go along with them.
really. You got Zubimendi.
Their attack is disgusting. They have a good defense. I can't
Yeah,
and they humble France in the Euros. So
Wow. So on,
94.
wait, on the 20th, they're gonna be having like what? One, two.
because your
They're gonna
friend
have like 12 matches.
I like Pedro Pogba. That's funny.
Pedro
That's
Porro.
funny, dog.
But yeah, I mean, hey, the international break is going to be fun, guys. There are going to be some very exciting matches. If there are any exciting matches and Barcelona players are involved, we could make an episode, talking about the games and everything. That could be fun. But guys, that was it for the episode. We talked about the injuries that Barcelona they are sustaining in regards to Íñigo Martínez and Marc Casadó.
Yeah,
Talked about, yeah, it happens. Ferran.
Who's talking about the midfielder real quick? Who's that youngsters from Barca beat Noah something? I think he's Dutch.
Darvic?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna get minutes even with
No,
Frankie.
no, he's
and-
decent. He's decent, but he's not really. He's not really built to be like a Barca midfielder. There's someone better than him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But I saw reports about him. But I just asked.
also I think he also plays in attacking midfielder position. He's German too.
Yeah.
Maybe he will
Yeah, I
get
think he's
chances
good,
under
but he's
Flick.
not good enough to
Yeah,
play for
I just
Barcelona.
asked because I didn't really know much about him.
Yeah, he's not really good enough to play for Barcelona. Like as a bench, like backup, as like a third
I
option.
was
He's not
I
really
think
good.
Yeah.
I think he was captain of the under 20 World Cup team of Germany. I think.
Yeah, he was. But again, yeah, his playstyle doesn't really suit. Yeah, he doesn't really suit, to be honest. Like Pablo Torres is just better, man. To be honest, as a third string like midfielder
Yeah.
for the 10. Yeah, he's not really close to Pablo Torre. If we're gonna talk
Okay.
about someone, it's Kim Jong-un. He's the real one. Kim Jong-un.
For what team does he play for?
What? Kim Jong-un?
Yeah,
Oh, he plays for the Barcelona B team.
on Barcelona's B team. Okay.
Yeah.
No, because like I wasn't really keeping track that much of
Yeah.
Barcelona's B team. I know that they're performing really well, and that they are on course. I think for a treble or something like that.
Yeah, they are.
But I wasn't really particularly paying attention to their individual players. But guys, that was it for the episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. This will be on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, so make sure to tune in over there if you do prefer it. And as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.
No quiero nada de tu vida.